Welcome to Abridged, a podcast on everything Bracebridge, with your host, me, Mayor Maloney. Well, I'm joined today by Barry Hammond, the Vice President of the Muskoka Bears. Barry, welcome to Abridged.
Thank you, Rick. Happy to be here.
Well, you know, it's that time of year where baseball's winding down, but hockey is now getting into full force. And hockey's alive and well in Bracebridge with the Muskoka Bears. Exciting second season. Tell us a little bit about the excitement around season 2 for the Muskoka Bears.
For sure, and I have to go back to year one and how our organization was received by the town, by sponsors, by fans. You know, so we understood as an executive that our mission needs to get better every year as we go on.
Yeah.
We had the luxury of a new facility to draw people in, but we knew it was important for year 2, year 3, 4 to build a winner. So this year is going to be exciting. We have a new look team for sure. We hired a GM with 14 years experience in our league. He comes with lots of credibility, right? He comes with connections and knowledge, and by all accounts is a player's coach, GM. So we're very fortunate to land Jeff Sanders.
Tell us a little bit about the kind of makeup of the team. I think when I saw the team play this past weekend in the exhibition tournament, a little bit bigger.
For sure.
Tell us a little bit about.
For sure, we've gotten bigger, especially on the D side. We have some good-sized players that have some grit as well as some skill. We'll be a puck-moving team, but we can play. You know, we always talk about being able to play both types of game.
Yep.
We can play a skill game, but we'll be able to play a physical game. So we're excited about that aspect. You know, we brought some D in that are, you know, high-quality players with a mean streak. So, you know, we should have some exciting games because we're not going to get pushed out of our arena or any arena. So that's going to be exciting.
I understand a young goalie that has some major junior A experience or close to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were very fortunate to get so our league runs, just not to talk too much about our process and players, but as a 21-year-old, we're the only league that you can play in. All other Ontario or all other junior leagues, you're done at 20. So the PGHL allows one player who's 21 that didn't play in the league the previous year on each team. So we were very fortunate to bring in a goalie who's had over 60 games in the OHL.
Wow.
I know a buddy of mine who scouts for an OHL team, and he said, this guy's good.
Yeah.
He'll steal you some games. He's going to be fun to watch.
Excellent.
We're excited about him as well.
And some local talent, some Bracebridge players?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ty Jennings, his brother Jacob Jennings played as well last year, but Jacob's gone off to school in the Niagara area. So Parker McAdams, and then probably 4 or 5 kids from last year are on the team this year.
So a lot of great news about the team itself for season 2. Tell me a little bit about the organization of the Bears. You know, this was, as I understand, an idea that came out of, getting a reunion with the Bears together several years ago. This is really, locally based, grassroots. People that are involved with this are, connected to the community. Tell us a little bit about the organization, the Bears.
We're not for profit, so we understand the importance of community involvement, of making sure that we have a financially viable team, and then every penny we bring in, whether it's the gate or swag or sponsorship, goes back to fund our team to make sure that we can continue to build and bring a winner to town. We're 12 local guys that love hockey that came together and ponied up $5,000 each to buy the franchise, and from there we solicited sponsors, which is overwhelming support from last year, this year. Our community, not just Bracebridge, but, your Port Carlins, your Gravenhurst, the surrounding area, they've all jumped on board, and it's great. We're so excited for year 2 and can't wait for year 3, year 4, because we're going to be bringing a championship home.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. And, I just absolutely amazed on, the organization and the professionalism that the organization brings to hockey, just the experience. So if you're a fan, you're coming to a game that has much more than some players on the ice. There's some atmosphere around it. There's some activity. There's games will have that start off with a puck drop that's supporting local organizations. It's really kind of a fan experience as well.
Oh, for sure, and it's always been a big part of what we wanted to bring was, acknowledging groups, to come to celebrate into the game, to bring maybe people to the arena that wouldn't normally go to a game, but they come because an association's dropping the puck, and then they say, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
There's action, there's noise, there's excitement. So every time you bring somebody in the door, you have a chance that they're going to come back, and that's really what it's all about: is filling the rink, making an atmosphere. You look at our Blue Jays and how full their stadium is.
Yeah.
If we could have a full house every day or every game, that would just bring so much excitement.
Yeah, and seasons ticket holders, there's an opportunity for folks to, take full advantage. If you are a season ticket holder, you're getting a little bit of better price on your tickets per game, and what a great way to support the team, right? Like,
sure.
I don't know what your numbers are on seasons tickets. This is year 2 for me, just being able to support the team, and it's really become a community kind of a gathering for a game too. You get to see folks that you haven't seen for a while, and you're at the game and you're cheering on, all commonly cheering on for one team. The house is packed, and it's a great night for family. And I think the fit for the Muskoka Lumber Community Center is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, for sure. And you mentioned it. It's exactly right. You see people you don't see in the course of a normal winter.
Yeah.
Because, you're not out and about as much, but you come in game day and you haven't seen them for a month, or you have a conversation, or you got the armchair coaches. It's such a good environment, and it's all conducive to a great event.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about the schedule and where you obviously the big games will be the ones that we play against Huntsville. So Huntsville is part of our division. Just tell us a bit about what the division looks like this year, and how the Bears may fit into that.
Well, it'd be nice to have that crystal ball and tell you exactly where we're going to finish. But if you look at every team's kind of improved, and you look at rosters and you look at exhibition games, and they are what they are because they are exhibition games. So the proof will be when you start playing these teams. But the exciting part about it is, it seems like every team is bulked up, got ready, building, which makes nothing worse than having an 8-team division and having a doormat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like everybody's going to be in contention. You're going to have a tough Alliston team, and you're going to have a tough Stayner team. Aurelia is going to be strong. So we're happy. If I could speak this way to it, last year we never had winning streaks. This year we're going to have winning streaks, and that just shows you we're going to get better.
Yeah.
Right. And where we finish, whether we finish 6th, 5th, 4th, we don't know, but we're going to be in games, and we're going to make people work hard to play us. Yeah. So that's the exciting part.
Absolutely. So how does one find the schedule and some information on the Bears? I'm sure you're on the World Wide Web.
Absolutely. We have a Facebook page, as well as we have our social media. Ken Veach sends out lots of reports. So our biggest following is on our Facebook page, and then we do post the schedules on that. There's also very good, if you go to the PGHL website and you can click on teams. PGHL also has an awesome app you can get on your phone. So you could actually be at our game here, and you can see what's happening with Aurelia Stayner through the app. So lots of good ways to connect with the league and the teams.
Yeah, and I know that there's a fair number of road games too, and people like to follow that. And so there is there some live scoring on that?
Yeah, there is a live stream that you can subscribe to watch all games on the road.
Yeah.
And then the app as well gives you updated scores instantly.
Yeah.
So you can sit, watch the game tonight if you're not going to Alliston. You can actually on the app or on live stream, just instant updating. It's pretty cool.
Barry, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. All the best for the season. Go Bears, go.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much. And thanks for allowing me to come in. And we're super excited about year 2.
Great.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, I'm joined for this segment of Abridged with Cheryl Kelley, the Director of Planning and Development for the town of Bracebridge. Second time visiting on the Abridged, Cheryl.
Recurring. Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. There's a special little patch you get for being a returning guest. So great to have you on our podcast today. What we wanted to talk about today is the creation of the town's multi-year accessibility plan. So first of all, what is a multi-year accessibility plan?
So the multi-year accessibility plan that we're working on is required under the town's requirements under the AODA, which is Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, and we're required to have. Generally, they're a 5-year plan. So we're working on a new one, and we're just starting that process now, working together with the town's leadership team, council, and our accessibility advisory committee.
So, what is the goal of a plan? What kind of focus would a plan have? It sounds like it's a document, a guiding document, but maybe just share with us about what the kind of focus and
and because it's the town's plan, it's focused on the town's programs, services, our infrastructure, our parks, our trails, our municipal facilities, and it will be high level. Some of it will be policy based, like, are there some tweaks we need to make to our accessible customer service policy? Some of it may be very specific as to, an actual curb cut to allow somebody to get into a municipal facility.
Mm-hmm. And so the plan in its finished form, would it be like some of these other plans we've seen where they have, short-term, medium-term, long-term opportunities, I guess?
Yeah, the interesting thing about the way most multi-year accessibility plans are developed and how they're presented is they actually show you where you've come from. Mm-hmm. So we have, more than 10 years worth of activity that we've been working on reducing barriers in the community for people with disabilities. And this one will bring it forward. It'll bring it forward under the what they call the 5 standards, so customer service, employment, communications, and the public infrastructure. And I've missed one somewhere along the line, but, I think most of the time we are very much focused on the built environment. So we talk a lot about, parks, trails, municipal facilities. But some of the other things that we're focusing in on and getting public feedback on is like, how friendly is the town's website? Are there things that they can't do with the town's website? Are there some improvements in there? If someone has applied for a job, have they been offered accommodation if they need it? Mm-hmm. And how that works within the town's procedures and processes and things like that.
So very broad reaching across basically all the departments of the town. Just as you're talking there, I'm thinking about, recreation. We're here at the Muskoka Lumber Community Center and the Bracebridge Colson Family Library. But, it's much more than just, the being able to have facilities accessible. It even goes into programming that we would offer from a recreation side of things? Or
it could be the program itself. Was the program accessible? So, some of the things that have been on the horizon for many, many years is, we always talk about the physical environment, mm-hmm. but we don't necessarily always key in on somebody not being able to hear something, mm-hmm. or we don't key in on the fact that somebody is visually impaired. So are there things that, within a high-level policy or procedure perspective that the town needs to look at in the future to be delivering a program?
Mm-hmm. And what about does the plan touch on private sector at all? We have a downtown, and of course, Bracebridge has got a beautiful downtown, but there's some hills there. There's some challenges moving around our downtown. We do have a downtown master plan that talks about a future streetscape, and accessibility is a big part of that. But even accessibility into businesses and things like that. Does it get into the private sector at all?
In some cases, it will when the access is through a public sidewalk. Mm-hmm. So there will be. We'll be looking at, hearing about where those barriers are and seeing if there are municipal fixes for that. Mm-hmm. The private sector piece would be more like the policy related to site plans.
I see. Yeah.
Whereby, if we need to strengthen our language in the site plan control guidelines or things like that, whereby, we need to make sure there's curb cuts are there. There is a bit of a fine balancing line that we have to play because the town, has an obligation under the AODA to deal with the corporate town program services facilities, but businesses themselves also have to deal with those things. So there is the crossover between our regulatory piece and actually what we do ourselves as a corporation.
And under the building branch, there's obviously strict rules about accessibility in the building code. Is there a bridge between what we're doing with this accessibility plan and like the building department? You talked about new builds, whether it be commercial, residential, whatever it might be.
So I think that this plan, as it gets developed, will likely deal with initiatives. So initiatives to bridge some of those things. We do have counterparts throughout the province who have accessibility committees, and there's different ways that they bridge some of those concerns or issues, because the building code is a building code and it says it does the minimum, I guess one would say. And is there an opportunity to enhance some of that? And that might be where we would add some new regulation and that sort of thing into that.
And the plan itself, we do have an accessibility advisory committee. So as this plan gets developed, are they the kind of touch point for the plan before it's presented to committee and council for approval, or what's the role of our accessibility advisory committee in this?
So a couple of things. So I think that so firstly, we're going out to the public. We haven't gone to the public specifically about a multi-year accessibility plan in well over 10 years. So we are going out to the public. We're collecting information about, the use websites, employment, any issues people have had with customer service. We are doing the deep dive also into like transit and Bracebridge mobility. And we have left the door wide open for people to tell us information about their barriers, whether it's a public sidewalk or whether it's a private sidewalk. We're talking about parking, we're talking about sidewalks. So we've done it's a pretty long survey, but again, the reality is we want to collect information.
Yeah.
So once we get that information back, it'll be collated, and the accessibility committee is slated to look at it in early November. So yes, their touch point is through them, back through some drafts, back through the leadership team at the town, so that we can make sure that if we've identified a barrier, that at least those that are looking after those programs and services can at least make good recommendations for when we get the plan back to council for approval.
So you mentioned a few times about the survey. We're getting ready to launch that survey. Tell us a little bit about that, how people can be involved with it, when the survey opens up, when it closes, and how they are able to access that survey.
It's available on the town's engagement platform, engagebracebridge.ca, and it'll be open until October the 22nd, and then we'll go back after that and do all the collating and things like that.
So we're really encouraging our community to participate in the survey. It's open. Go to the town's website, go to our Engage page, and really an opportunity for us to take a full account of accessibility in our community with the goal of doing the best we can make sure that our town is accessible for all of our residents.
For all of our residents, absolutely. And we'll have the little cards in public places like here at the library and the arena and Sportsplex and places like that, so that people can pick up the card if if they're not sure what we said and how to find it. We'll have some cards available so they can take it home and sit in front of their computer. We've also provided the option that if they need some assistance, they can send an email to our generic planning@bracebridge.ca, or they can call me directly at 705-645 5264 extension 3500, and I'll work through the survey with them.
Well, good for you for getting your number out there in the public domain. That's great. So thanks again, Cheryl, for coming and sharing about our multi-year accessibility plan and the creation of that, and really encourage our community to be involved and help guide our community for the next 5 years for accessibility. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Pleasure to welcome Fire Prevention Officer Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan, welcome to this special little abridged podcast, and we're going to talk about Fire Prevention Week.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Mayor Maloney. And yeah, Fire Prevention Week is something that occurs every year here. It's an NFPA kind of campaign that they put on, and this year we're looking at it to charge into fire safety with lithium-ion batteries in your home, in my home, in the homes of all of our community members.
And first of all, when is Fire Prevention Week? What are the dates for that?
So fire prevention this year is October 5th to 11th.
Okay.
It's about a week long, and all across North America, the NFPA, or National Fire Protection Agency, kind of has different events here and there. They support fire departments all across North America, and assisting in getting this potentially life-saving knowledge out into the community.
So charge into fire safety, and I think that has, as you pointed out, everything to do with lithium-ion batteries. Tell us a little bit about the challenges with lithium-ion batteries.
A couple challenges with lithium-ion batteries is they're everywhere. Looking around the little room that we're in here now, I see 3 or 4 lithium-ion batteries in the cell phones that are on the table. That could be charging in your home. I would hazard a guess that in this building there's probably 100 cell phones, which is 100 lithium-ion batteries. But they could be in more than just cell phones. So anything that's rechargeable, potentially power tools that you have at home, obviously your phone. Electronic devices, even potentially smoke alarms. If you go buy a lithium-ion battery to put in your smoke alarm, that's potentially another threat of a lithium-ion battery in your home.
And so what makes lithium-ion batteries, so susceptible to fire or fire risk? What's the makeup of those that is the risk hazard?
Really a lithium-ion battery is safe, right? Just like anything, it's safe until you do something you're not supposed to do with it, right? So anything is susceptible to damage, right? Say you drop your phone, you could damage something. You could damage the battery inside, right? So when that battery takes that harsh impact or that shock, potentially damaging it, it could put it into what we call a thermal runaway event, which in turn breaks down the internal components of that battery, and the compounds mix together. They go into thermal runaway. That's when, I'm sure you've seen some of the videos online, you see sparks shooting out of them, flames shooting out of it, and ultimately just a very violent reaction to that, or inside that battery, which causes fire. It could be from other things too. It's not necessarily just damage. It could be overcharging it, right? So a lot of manufacturers will say, think of potentially your DeWalt drill that you have at home, right? The manufacturer will say, charge it until the light goes out, take it off the charger right away, right? If you're guilty like I am, I leave my battery on the charger until I need it next, right? That's not good to do. You're overcharging that battery potentially. Although the charging devices have safety features installed, they could fail. Anything could fail. Overcharging that battery, overheating it, causing it to be damaged inside potentially, and making it go into a thermal runaway is a really real factor with these batteries.
So, and I as I understand, the fire that they produce is like very intense, very hot, and very difficult to manage and put out.
Yeah, that's correct. So lithium-ion batteries, they give themselves oxygen, right? So they're constantly going through this thermal runaway, and they're going to go through that until it's used up all the fuel inside. It's not like, a piece of wood. When it catches fire, we apply water, fire goes out. These batteries there's no way to really extinguish them until they've used up all that fuel. When we fight a piece of wood that's on fire, we're taking away that fuel by dousing it with water. These batteries, we simply can't do that with.
So a focus during Fire Prevention Week on charge into fire safety, focus on lithium-ion batteries. people, as you pointed out, you were starting to rhyme off a few things. I've got a lot of tools that have, the rechargeable batteries, lithium-ion batteries. I think most people in their home have that. It could be flashlights. There's so many things in your home that would have lithium-ion batteries. It's not, strictly, the cell phone or that rechargeable, e-bike or whatever. You often hear stories about, the e-bikes, spontaneously combusting and lighting on fire, but it's anything that is got a lithium-ion that's a rechargeable battery type of device.
Yeah, that's right. It could be anything. Really, I'm sure there's products out there that we have in our home that we don't even know have a lithium-ion battery in them, because I'm guilty for it. You get a new product, you take it home, you pull it out of the packaging, you toss the packaging in the garbage, you put it on the wall, you use it, whatever you're doing with it, and you don't look to see what kind of battery's in it, right? And a lot of the times, think of your cell phone, it's sealed, right? You're not opening the back of it up like the old cell phones to see what kind of battery is in there, right? So you might not even know if you have that in your home.
Yeah.
So it's very important for our community members to identify those potential hazards and try and mitigate them the best that they can.
So identification's a good point. There's a difference between lithium-ion and lithium batteries. Lithium-ion is rechargeable. Lithium batteries are not. So maybe just explain that a little bit.
Yep. So you're on the right track there, Mayor Maloney. You just had it a little bit backwards there. So lithium batteries are single-use and non-rechargeable. We find those in many items that are designed to be long-lasting, right? So the new smoke alarms with 10-year batteries in them have lithium batteries in them. They're designed to be long-lasting but not rechargeable. Lithium-ion batteries are the rechargeable ones that we find in our cell phones, our power tools, all that kind of stuff, right? There's little bits of differences between the batteries, and primarily in the construction of the batteries, the materials used inside, right? So lithium batteries use just a lithium material, where lithium-ion batteries use lithium compounds. So it's, from my knowledge, when those compounds mix from that damage, from that shock of being dropped or that overcharging, that's what causes it to go into that thermal runaway and cause issues in our homes.
So if you have, a device, whether it's an old rechargeable flashlight or an old rechargeable power tool, any advice on how you should dispose of that safely and get it out of your home when you want to, when it's past its usefulness?
Yep. So in Bracebridge here, there's a few receptacles. I'm not sure exactly where, but generally you'll find them in hardware stores that have that little green bin out front that allow you to go and drop off your batteries in those locations, right? I believe the Sportsplex here in town had one for quite a while. And
Town Hall has one, I think.
I believe the Town Hall does have one as well, yes. So that's a very good option to get rid of used batteries, is to bring it there where they're safely disposed of, right? Another place might be Brendar, the environmental facility up there on Rosewarne Drive. If it's a hazard, they'll likely take it, right? The biggest thing here is recycling responsibly, right? So the manufacturer's instructions, which is something that in the world of fire prevention we always refer back to, is the manufacturer's instructions. They're the ones that have tested it, figured out what's going on with it, and they're the ones that know how to keep it safe. Always revert back to the manufacturer's instructions to look for the recycling instructions on that specific device, because it might be different. Your phone might be different than your battery from your drill, right? And always, if you have, or if the general community has questions, they can always contact the fire department as well. And I think we talk about that a little bit after.
Yes, I think if folks that are listening to this are saying, well, geez, I'm not sure what I have or what I should do, always can reach out to the Bracebridge Fire Department.
Yep, that's correct. So the fire prevention team at the Bracebridge Fire Department, we're always willing to help our community members out, right? So anyone can call us at 705-645-8258 and inquire about any, sort of fire safety or fire prevention questions that they have, and we'll do the best that we can to assist them or point them in the right direction to ensure that they get the proper information.
Yeah, great. And I know that there may be some events and activities that the fire department will be involved with during Fire Prevention Week. So safe to say, keep posted to the town's website and those events or activities will be posted there for Fire Prevention Week?
Yep. So we do a very good job here to make sure that all of the important information, especially regarding Fire Prevention Week, is posted to our Facebook page. Media releases that we put out and whatnot. And traditionally last year we went to the Junior C game that happened to be right at the end of Fire Prevention Week, where we were able to drop the ceremonial puck during intermissions. We had a fire safety table set up outside, and we're hoping to be back there this year. We do have some feelers out there to make sure that we can try and get to the game. And any time that we're really doing any sort of public event, we always try and bring in that lithium-ion battery safety, right? Because it's such a real problem here. Not necessarily in Bracebridge, we've been very fortunate, but North America or worldwide, we're seeing an uprise in these events that are caused by lithium-ion batteries. So we're really always trying to educate the community on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's the potential of the risk, and it doesn't mean that just because we haven't had major incidents here in Bracebridge that it's something that we have to ignore. It is a risk, and thanks for taking the time today to first of all talk about Fire Prevention Week and also the theme, which is Charge into Fire Safety. Appreciate you taking the time, Jonathan, and as always, you're providing some great information. I learned a lot today. And also, we're doing this recording today on National Truth and Reconciliation Day. So I'm wearing my orange shirt. Great to see that the fire department has their orange epaulets. So what a great tribute to this important day today.
Yeah, we have lots of epaulets for different important things that we encounter in our everyday lives, and this is just one little thing that allows us to show our support in Truth and Reconciliation Day. So I appreciate you noticing that.
Yeah, Fire Prevention Officer Taylor, always a pleasure. Jonathan, till the next time, appreciate all the work that our fire department does, and you and your work to keep us educated.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Great. That's a wrap on this episode of Abridged. Thanks to my guests for taking the time to join me today. This podcast was produced in the Dr. Ted Joe recording studio at the Colson Family Bracebridge Library. Thanks for listening, and be sure to join me on our next episode where we talk everything Bracebridge.